East Kimberley, in the far north, where the pace of life can be dictated by the Ord River's flow.
I grew up in this community. There was no houses around here. I mean, it used to be my hunting ground.
Kenneth Paul Green lives here on the fringes of Kununurra, a West Australian town a stone's throw from the Northern Territory border and more than 3,000 kilometres from Perth. Now in his 60s, Kenneth's among thousands bound to the Cashless Debit Card. It quarantines 80% of his welfare pay so it can't be spent on gambling, alcohol or withdrawn as cash.
They would sort of control my spending spree, or whatever you want to call it. That's what I call it anyway.
Labor went to the recent election pledging to end the card, saying it stigmatised people and failed in its bid to help them off welfare. But locals aren't happy they've had no say in the matter.
They put us on without no permission, and they got to take us off again without no permission from us. You know, how does that work?
This mother of 6 concedes the cards have some positives, like protecting food money for her kids from hassling relatives. But she's sick of struggling to find cash when she needs it.
Some shop too, like the garage, they don't use those cards. You have to have cash.
As of last month, the cashless debit card sat in the pockets of thousands of welfare recipients around Australia, in South Australia, Queensland, Western Australia and the Northern Territory.
The Cashless Debit Card, or the CDC for short,
first introduced in 2016 to address social problems like alcohol abuse, it's since been labelled racist and unjust.
The idea of these reforms was to wean people off social security and make them useful members of the economy, not to savagely punish them.
I like to see the card go, really. That's not giving us our freedom and self-determination.
In Cockatoo Springs, in the Kimberley, senior Mirrawong man Ben Ward paints a future where his people choose on what and where to spend their money.
All they want to do is control. It's not the control, it's people, choices. And if you don't have that choice, what the hell are we here?
Between 2012 and today, data shows the number of people on welfare in remote and very remote Australia rose by more than 15,000. And in the Kimberley, authorities are still grappling with high crime rates and disadvantage. While studies show the cashless card failed in its ambitions to change things, the Albanese government is moving into a voluntary system where people can decide to be on income management if they want and have less of their cash quarantined. While many people out here support the move towards a voluntary system, empowering communities to make their own decisions, others are concerned that without proper consultation and support, existing social issues related to alcohol abuse and overcrowded housing could be exacerbated.
If you had a fully functional community, a fully functional society where everyone was doing well, you don't need these sort of measures. You don't need them. But we don't have that. Far from it.
In sites where the card is ending, Labor says it'll commit more than $65 million for extra alcohol and drug treatment services and support, and community-led initiatives to get people off welfare. In the Northern Territory, it's a slightly different story, where compulsory income management will remain for now. Thousands of users will stay on the Basics card, an older system still widely used in the NT that restricts less of people's welfare payments. Some say that too should be scrapped, but a safety net must be in place before it happens.
I think it would be too great a leap to go from suddenly everyone off compulsory income management altogether. That needs to be another conversation.
The The Albanese government has flagged it too wants to see the Basics card eventually made voluntary and has committed to upgrading that card next year so it can be used for online shopping and to access more goods. This elder in Arnhem Land believes the Basics card does offer some relief from the scourges of alcohol and gambling, but at great personal expense.
You're a puppet with that invisible string, the person with the basic card. And the government have control of your rupiah.
For Gidja man Ian Trust, as his East Kimberley community looks towards life without the cashless card, he's grieving the cost of another failed attempt at helping his people.
All our people out there got huge potential in regards to job opportunities and so on. They got huge potential, but a lot of those potential is never realised. And a lot of these people go to their graves not sort of having realised their potential because they can't get past this sort of system that holds them there.
The faces of an intergenerational chasm left gaping for far too long. Matt Garrick, ABC News.